Women are desperate and blaming men for their own insecurities as password bros leave. Guys, I want you to listen to this video and just take it in. Women are absolutely furious with men for a variety of different reasons. But let's listen to this small part before we jump into the full video.
Complaining instead of just listening to the millions of women, not just now, but throughout history, who have said, hey, yeah, we just want you to be nice and like stop being assholes. And they just fundamentally reject that.
You know, it's interesting. They are constantly saying, "We just want you to be nice guys. Just be nice." You know, our when guys say, look at society today and what men have to deal with and the perils men face in society, they're like, "You wouldn't have to worry as long as you're nice." Is it so hard to ask that men just be nice and not total you know what? Guys, they keep on repeating this over and over and over. It regardless of everything that's happening in society, regardless of M2 and all these other things, it doesn't matter. What they want is for men to remain ignorant, stupid, not a, and not standing up for themselves. They want men to be pushovers. They want men to not to not say, hey, you know what? We have standards. They don't want men that have standards. They don't want men that have a backbone because they want to be able to say anything and do anything. This is the reason why they want men. They want Plan B guys that they can basically extract wealth and resources from, and then eventually easily walk away from those relationships. They don't want strong men because strong men will say no, 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 no. We live in a society today where basically, and I showed you another video where a woman basically said she warned the man. She met a guy and she was having a couple of drinks, and she told the guy that if he told her probation officer that she had been consuming drinks, she would say that he SA'd her. And that's just how terrible it is. Not only did she do that, but she also left her kid with him for 45 minutes while she took off. A guy who's a complete stranger. And this is the modern day society that we live in, because society has told women they don't have to be accountable for anything. It's like society just wrote women a blank check, and women have taken that check and they've been cashing it. They've cashed it and they've been just are handed them. I shouldn't even say a blank check. It's more like, because you cash a check one time and that's it. No, it's like giving them a credit card with no spending limit, and they've just been spending and spending and spending and spending and spending and spending, and they believe that the fact that they were given this credit card, that's a better example, and they can keep on spending unlimitedly as long as there are men who will be subservient and not question them and basically allow them and not have standards and allow them to do whatever they choose to do. They can keep on spending. And you could see that the problems that it's creating in society, and the mental state, because there's desperation there that this could come to an end, because these women have been living off this credit card since practically the day they were born or entered into womanhood, and they have no, this is their survival. This is their safety net. Plan B, Plan C, Plan guys are a part of that safety net. Okay, it's a form of extraordinary narcissism. Just women marrying themselves. A psychiatrist or a psychologist said that. Well, maybe it's a form of healthy narcissism. Healthy narcissism. There's no such thing. But you have to understand that when women do negative things, bad things in society, we always look for a way to try to reframe it and turn and spit it into a positive. Unlike men, where men are basically faced with reality, and society checks them very quickly. By the way, guys, if you're enjoying these videos, please subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications to never miss another video again, and like the video because it tells YouTube that you're enjoying these videos and you want to see more of them. So I'll show you more of them. Let's continue watching this video because it's really something else.
Fundamentally reject the concept of women having some autonomy over their lives and what relationships look like. They're like, well, I'm a man. You should obviously want to be in a relationship with a man. Otherwise, you're going to end up a lonely spinster. I think not, sir. You are the lonely spinster. Even when we tell men that they're being assholes, they're like, no, you're overreacting. Am I overreacting, or are you desensitized? Because clearly your species isn't doing too fucking well in regards to gauging what makes you an asshole, what makes you insensitive, what makes you inconsiderate. And they have this idea of themselves in their head. They have this certain standard for themselves in their head. And when you show them anything about themselves, a mirror that shows them something they don't like about themselves, they reject it, they reject you, you're overreacting, you're crazy. And they just cannot accept that women might know what they're talking about when it comes to what they want, and that they should actually listen to that, and that they should adapt to that, because men really hate the idea of adapting. You know, they talk about masculinity being fixed and femininity being whatever, fluid, and it's to a fault.
A lot of
So men need to learn how to cry. Men need to adapt to the wants and demands of women. Women want men who make hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars a year. Men need to adapt to this and raise themselves up to those standards. Because if they go to other countries, the women are going to want even more. The women are going to have even higher standards than American women. So, I mean, guys, do you understand this notion? One of the big mistakes that men make is listening to this type of narcissistic rant and believing that this is all that the world has to offer. This is a form of this listening to this type of content, hearing women say these things, it causes men to essentially give up and draw conclusions about all women. And it's terrible. It's really terrible that this is happening. And it's hard because there are a lot of men who will never trust again. There are a lot of men who say, yeah, I've lived that life, I've experienced it already, I'm not going back, I'm not dating, I'm never going to marry again, I won't even date, and I'm just going to stay by myself and have my peace. All right? The only thing that matters to me is my peace. And you'll say, dude, you're going to be alone for the rest of your life then, and that's going to be it for you. And they're like, I am fine with that. I am fine with that. You know, even if I am lonely, I would rather be lonely than ever put up with any of this. I will happily be alone. And there's a lot of guys who've literally settled into it. All right? They'll literally just give them some food and some video games, and they're good. They're good. They have some money in the bank. They make just enough to survive and live comfortably, and they're not going to marry. They're not going to have children. They're not going to date. They're not having any relationships whatsoever. They've practically gone monk, right? And that's it. And they're disengaging from society as much as possible. And you see one article after another article saying that, you know, men don't want to grow up. No, men are the ones carrying society, but society has disenfranchised them, and they've decided that they're not going to put up with it anymore, and they're just going to walk away from society as a whole and be done with it. And it's unfortunate that it's come down to this, but it's literally how men have been treated and relegated in society, why this is happening, and why men are just done playing the game. You know, men are not allowed to have standards. Men are not allowed to have opinions. Men are basically men are always the villains. You know, they're the villains. If you turn on television, they're you have a spunky, smart, sassy woman, and then you have, and then the children are, you know, the girls are all brilliant, and the boys are kind of aloof, and the father, he's just there for comic relief, while the mother is a doctor or a lawyer. I mean, what? It's like it's just ongoing, and it's been like this for decades at this point. And like Gen Z was born into this world, and you know, I don't know if any of you have noticed this, but Gen Z is kind of weird. Gen Z is kind of weird. A lot of this stuff is it's really shaped them mentally. And people often, you know, when we were years ago, we used to think that Gen Z were going to be the generation that changed things. No, they're not. Gen Z is out. Gen Z is out for the count. I'm telling you right now, there's something wrong with Gen Z. Are you looking for a Christian Filipina partner who shares your faith and values? If so, you should check out Christian Filipina, the most trusted dating site for men and women who want to find love and marriage in the Philippines. Christian Filipina has helped thousands of couples meet and start their journey together. You can join for free and browse through thousands of profiles of beautiful and sincere Filipinas who are ready to connect with you. Click the link below in my description and sign up today using my special affiliate code. You won't regret it. Yeah, guys. So, I mean, that's everything I have for you. What do you think about this? Women are desperate and blaming men for their own insecurities as pastor bros leave. Let's talk more about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away. And cheers.